Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Hildibrand adventures. Previously, Hildibrand bravely laid his life on the line by joining the Ul'dah arena. He wanted to win the prize the old-fashioned way, the very same prize that the thief, the man of 1,000 faces, had set his own sights on. Hildibrand bravely squared off against the triple threat of Gilgamesh, Typhon, and what's-his-face, Squidface, I don't care about him. Unfortunately, the thief made off with the real prize. So now, we hope that Ellie here, the reporter from the Mithril Eye, has a lead for us, so let's get going. Hello. Shades of Silde. Really? Silde? I don't know how to pronounce that, but I know that place. It's a dungeon. Ellie would share with you a shocking new turn in the Phantom Thief case. I was wondering when you showed up, Zephyria. Hope you haven't made any plans for the night, because we've got a situation on our hands. Remember our good friend, the Phantom Thief? Well, it seems he's decided to branch out from burglary to cold-blooded murder. What? If the rumors are to be believed, he's claimed 3 victims already, all influential members of Ul'dah society. Mr. Many-Faces has been kind enough to leave one of his signature calling cards at every scene, leaving no doubt as to the identity of the murderer. The message is always the same. The weight of 5 corpses will bring the scales of justice to balance. More riddles. Well, it sounds like there's 2 more victims awaiting him, so that's scary. Not that you'll hear me complaining. No, the only thing my readers like more than a good mystery is a good murder mystery. Ever since the story broke, the Mithril Eye's been selling like Pond's cakes. That's cute. The only rub is that it's left me no time to look into the thief's last message. Until now, that is. Shall we, Zephyria? The hidden treasure of Ul'dah, was it? If there's anyone who can shed some light on this, it's you-know-who. To Sunsilk Tapestries. Very well. Where was that? That's right. Wymond. Always helpful. Well now, if it ain't my favorite venturer, and my favorite Mithril Eye reporter along with her. Tell me, what have I done to deserve the pleasure of your company today? I see. As much as I'd like to help 2 lovely ladies, I'm afraid you found old Wymond at a loss. Ul'dah has more than its fair share of treasures, hidden and otherwise. I reckon our phantom friend could be after just about any of them. I can tell you this much, though. Whatever the thief's got his eyes on, it's got the Sultan sworn in a right dither. Word has it they formed a regiment of their best and brightest to safeguard the royal vaults from this very threat. The Sultan sworn aren't like to be forthcoming with information, but it's the only lead we've got. Come on, Zephyria, I'd say it's time you paid a visit to the heart of the sworn. Oi, hold up there, Ellie. I ain't generally the worrying type, but you may want to think twice before getting yourselves involved in this. A man in my business develops a nose for danger, and this time, the stench is something fierce. You're a reporter, Ellie, and a fine one at that. Don't put that pretty neck of yours at risk trying to play hero. Your concern is touching, but I can assure you that I am ready for whatever dangers lie ahead. Besides, being a reporter is about more than selling papers. I have a duty to seek out the truth and convey it to the people. Come, Zephyria, time is of the essence. If you say so. Confidence. I like that in a woman. Any road, it's not my place to stop you, so just promise me you'll be careful. My gut tells me that trouble is a-brewin', and my gut's right more often than wrong. Boy, I just can't talk today. I'm sorry. This sucks. Humphrey. Weren't you that dude from part 1 who got his sword stolen, or someone else's sword stolen? Where have I seen this man before? Yeah. Huh. Halt. Only authorized personnel are allowed in... Thal bugger me with a broadsword. It's the Gentleman of Light's adventuring companion and that catty but cute reporter from the Mithril Eye. Well, well, if it isn't the self-styled Warrior of Light. Tell me, what tall tales did you spin to the Sultan's sworn recruiter to land yourself in this position? Only the 12's honest truth, miss. Seeing that gentleman of light standing tall and triumphant that day, it moved me, to the depths of me soul-like. I vowed to put aside my sketchy past and serve the realm just like my hero, Master Hildibrand. The Sultan's sworn were impressed with my commitment and my sword arm, and they gladly welcomed me into their ranks. Wait, don't tell me. You've come to assist Master Hildibrand in his investigation, haven't you? Cor, why didn't you say so sooner? It's the least I could do to help two ladies who united me with my role model. You'll be wanting to speak with Felice. She's one of the Sworn's best, and something of a history buff, it seems. When she heard the thief was targeting the 4 relics of Belladia, she personally stepped forward and volunteered to lead the investigation. If anyone has the information you're looking for, it'd be her. Wait here while I get her. I can trust you not to touch anything, aye? What a helpful fellow. A pleasure to meet you, Felice. My name is Ellie from the Mithril Eye. As you may have heard, we're researching the Phantom Thief case and would appreciate any information that may shed light on recent events. Oh my god. This is the... Oh... Some days I just... Ooh. My tongue just twists over itself, man. I'm trying my best here. The pleasure is mine, Miss Ellie. And if I'm not mistaken, that would make your companion friend here one Zephyria Jeste, yes? Sup? You know Zephyria? As any regular reader of the Mithril Eye would, I must confess to being something of an unabashed fan of your work. Though it hardly befits my station to say this, I was secretly hoping that you would show up to assist in the investigation. Doubtless the inspector, too, will also welcome a helping hand. Oh, that inspector. The Sultan Sworn, the elite of Uldah's elite. I can only hope they prove more competent than the bungling mercenaries I've dealt with thus far. Inspector Briardian, always one step ahead of us. Miss Ellie, Zephyria, a moment, if you would. Right there, very good. Now face me and don't move an ilm. Inspector, what is that in your... Please, cough. Demasking dust, a formula of my own devising that will allow us to see right through the thief's disguises. Analyzing the mask left behind at Vesper Bay, I was able to identify its composition and synthesize a counter-agent that would dissolve the disguise whilst leaving the wearer's face intact. In any event, it would appear the two of you are indeed who you appear to be. That's a relief. Brilliant, Inspector! The Phantom Thieves pulled the wool over our eyes for the last time. I fear it won't be so simple. The ingredients necessary to produce the dust are exceedingly rare. Even with the entire resources of the Sultan Sworn at our disposal, we were only able to produce a limited supply. I see. Well, I suppose it's better than nothing. That said, have you been able to identify the thief's next target? A hidden treasure of Uldah, the last of the 4 lost relics of Belladia. I fear not. I've pored through the histories time and again, but the only mention of these 4 relics is a vague reference in an old prophecy. Most serious scholars consider it little more than a fairy tale. When darkness falls and hope fades to despair, 4 warriors born of light shall descend in the righteous glare. The legend goes on to describe 4 sacred artifacts, one each possessed by these 4 Belladian heroes, but makes no mention as to their appearance or nature. 3 times we have tried to identify the thief's target, and 3 times has he foiled us by making off with something else entirely. Needless speculation will only play to the fiend's strengths. All artifacts of Belladian origin have been sealed within the royal vault, and a regiment of our finest assigned to its protection. I furnished all the guards with a supply of demasking dust, and instructed them to be on the lookout for any suspicious personages. The blackguard will be in chains before he can lay a dirty hand on the vault doors, let alone the treasures within. You have our word, my lady. But there are even more disturbing matters at hand. Doubtless you have heard of the recent rash of murders perpetrated by our quarry. The Sultan Sworn have launched an investigation, but the truth of the matter is that we have been far too occupied with the defense of the vaults to make any meaningful progress. We would be most grateful for any assistance you could offer. A lady asks and a gentleman answers.
Yeah.
Yeah! Clap. Cast all worry from your heart, my lady. Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, has arrived to set right what is wrong and bring the wicked to justice. And this must be the damasking dust that is the talk of the palace. Ah, but you need not waste your supply on me, Inspector. I assure you that I am exactly who I claim to be. A shame, that. Inspector Hildibrand, we were not expecting you, but your services are most welcome. I will share all I know about the recent murders. The killer has claimed 3 victims thus far, the head of a publishing consortium, a high-ranking government official, and an influential scholar. Other than that, they were all influential figures in their respective circles. We can identify no common threads connecting the 3. Oh ho! This will prove a most satisfying case to crack indeed. And what of the method of killing? Conked over the head with a cudgel, gutted with a great sword, strangled with a subligar mayhap? I'm afraid that we've identified no pattern. In any event, the murderer plots the death of 2 more even as we speak. Must take action, and quickly. Understood, my lady. Clues may be scarce, but worry not. My realm-renowned powers of deduction are more than up to the task. I will see this burglar-turned-butcher delivered to justice. Your presence is heartening indeed, Inspector Hildibrand. Friends, please take this demasking dust with you. I fear we can spare but a single sachet, and I trust that it will be put to good use. Well, that's all nice. On behalf of the Sultan Sworn, your assistance with the murder investigation is greatly appreciated. Leave the defense of the royal vault to us. The gentleman of light in the flesh. Hells, he's every bit as muscular and majestic as I remembered. I'm glad he has at least one fan. He may have 1,000 faces, but with the Inspector Briardian's demasking dust, the masquerade will soon be over. Come to accompany on yet another case, friend. I like your gusto. But if you're auditioning to be my assistant, I fear that role has already been filled most ably. Still, a gentleman welcomes the support of all of his admirers. I shall henceforth name you thusly. Zephyria, my ever-loyal associate. I'm honored. And now, my ever-loyal associate, the investigation calls. I propose that we begin by inspecting the site at which the most recent victim met his demise. My questioning about the palace has revealed that the scholar's body was found not far from the 80 sins of Sasamo. Even the most circumspect of criminals cannot help but leave behind clues that will not elude my gaze. Friends, let us be off. Pray alert me should you see anyone suspicious, my ever-loyal associate. You must put Miss Felice's demasking dust to good use. Very well. Let's head out. Oh, there's some flowers on the ground. Flowers? How intriguing. Flowers. Yes, it is all becoming clear now. Our phantom killer is a florist who, in his hurry to escape, carelessly mislaid his wares. Just what do you think you're doing, eh? Eh, who? Haggard Hag.
I'm the one who put those flowers there, eh? To honor the memory of me poor boy. You dare defile his memory, eh? Hey?
1,000 pardons, my lady. Please accept my most sincere condolences on your loss. I am Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire. I swear to you, on my own dear mother's name, that your son's killer will be brought to justice. As I was saying, these flowers were clearly placed here by the family of the deceased, which can only mean...
Leave this place. Run away while you still can. Run far, far away. Run, or I'll turn you into a zombie, just like my poor, poor boy.
Come again? A living person turned into a zombie. Nonsense. That's the only way a zombie can come about, though.
Not nonsense, my boy. History. Or have you not heard of the horrors of Sildi? I, Hulda's sibling nation, against which we waged war centuries ago. Much blood was shed by both sides, but I speak of a far greater horrors than death, an unholy draught brewed by a Seldine alchemist, one with the power to turn the living to the undead, that his nation might command an army of mindless, deathless soldiers, the traitors spurn. They turned my poor boy into a heap of rotten flesh and ran him through, but you won't hear that from the Sultan sworn. Thal alone knows why, but they whisked the body away before I could so much as pay me last respects. The traitors spurn. I've heard the stories, but I never thought them true. To be able to procure such a frightening thing, just who are we dealing with here? A Seldine, I'm sure of it. Only a Seldine would know the recipe. But the last remnants of Sildi died 4 centuries ago, you say? Oh, they did. He calls himself the Phantom Thief, he does. But it ever occurred to ye that he might be honest God's phantom? Eh? Heard the tales from my own great-great-grandma, I did, about the 4 relics of Belladia and the powers they hold, the power to exact justice. A spectre of Sildi has returned to wreak vengeance on us. Woe unto us all. Have the 4 warriors of light forsaken us? My dear boy, if only you'd become a traitor like your father. If only you'd kept your nose out of those history books and never so much breathed the accursed name of Sildi. But you did, and now we're doomed. Doomed.
Okay, that was something. That bleeding horse son's here somewhere. Can feel it in my follicles. Who says that? In your follicles? Elazar! And Nashu's stalker. Huh. The most potent hair tonic the realm has seen? Aye, that it was. For all of a fortnight before my flowing locks fell out all over again. But just as I was chatting up a lovely young lass at the quicksand, just to twist the knife in extra ilm. Mountebank, charlatan! I'll find that so-called inspector and his sorry band and pull every last strand of hair from their bleeding skulls. The plot thickens, just as his hair thins. Yeah, between Humphrey and the Elazar, yeah, they're bringing back a lot of old stuff. That's neat. And yeah, it's great to hear talk of Sildi. I know for a fact that when I was first going through the game, my eyes would just glaze over and I didn't know what it meant. But yeah, there's recent content a bit in Final Fantasy XIV, and I'm like, oh yeah, Sildi, yeah, I know that place. Shades from Sildi. Living men turned to zombies. The old crone's lost not just her son, but her wits as well. Hildibrand is onto something, or at least he thinks he is. It's all becoming clear to me now. That dear old woman's testimony has confirmed that which I had suspected from the start. Like a zombie picking away at its rotting flesh, Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, has peeled away the foul scab of uncertainty to reveal the truth within. Open your ears and feast your minds on the fruits of my flawless deduction. Ahem. Our phantom thief is a phantom indeed, a wayward spirit caught between the realm of the living and dead for nigh on centuries since meeting a tragic end on the battlefield. As such, our course of action is clear. We must placate this tortured soul, that it might abandon its vengeful vendetta and travel to the next life in peace. But what is the true nature of the spectre's grievances? Without this knowledge, we cannot hope to assuage its rancor. Let us begin our search at the Thaumaturge's Guild. Doubtless the tomes there contain a wealth of knowledge on the ill blood between the sibling nations. Notwithstanding the abject stupidity of everything else that came out of your mouth, some knowledge of Sildee might serve us well. Go research as you will, and do take as much time as you need. You can count on me, Inspector Briardian. Whatever knowledge is to be gleaned at the guild, it shall not escape my inspector's eye. All right. I'd be much obliged if you could keep him out of my way, Zephyria. I have some real investigating to do and would prefer to be free of distractions. I'm on it, sir. You can count on me, sir. Ah, here we are. The Neko.
Gods be good. You're the adventurer who saved me back at the ruins.
I'll take your word for it.
Researching the ancient feud between Ul'dah and Sildee, are you? Why, I'm pleased to say I have more than a passing familiarity with ancient history. To understand the history of the sibling nations, one must go back further still to the birth of their mother nation, Belladia.
Oh, that's what Belladia is. Okay.
The fifth astral era was an age of untold wonders, when the arcane arts burgeoned and the great civilizations that commanded such powers flourished. This age of enlightenment would not last, however. Power bred avarice, and avarice bred resentment. It culminated in the War of the Magi, which brought the great floods of the sixth umbral calamity, which in turn swallowed once proud nations and left a battered wasteland in its wake. Mages were reviled and persecuted for having caused this catastrophe, with many forced to leave their homelands or face death. It was a small band of those survivors that found their way to Thanalan, where they would found the nation of Belladia some 8 centuries agone. Oh, imagine a government of mages, by mages, and for mages. What wonders might have been wrought had Belladian civilization survived to this very day? Alas, this was not to be.
Thank you. That was very helpful. Ah, the Thaumaturge's Guild. I'm home. You know, when I began the game, not only did I start out in Ul'dah, but I started as a Thaumaturge. Yeah, the Black Mage called to me. It did. Actually, for nostalgia's sake, let's take on the form of a Black Mage for a bit. Just a little bit. You don't say. It's not every day someone comes to our halls to research Sildee. As a fellow student of history, though, I more than welcome the conversation. Belladian civilization flourished in relative peace until twin sons were born to the royal family. The two were fierce rivals, and when they came of age and their father passed, each one claimed that he was the rightful heir to the throne. With neither son willing to relinquish his claim, they agreed to split their kingdom in two, forming the twin nations of Ul'dah and Sildee. But not unlike the two proud princes, the sibling nations developed a penchant for rivalry. I don't think it ended well.
Greetings, traveler. You would learn of the war between Ul'dah and the fallen Sultanate of Sildee. It would be my pleasure to enlighten you. The two city-states coexisted for several generations until the bad blood between them boiled over, culminating in outright war. As you might deduce from the present state of affairs, Ul'dah emerged victorious, leaving its once proud sibling nation in smoldering ruins. As the histories tell it, the battles fought between the sister nations were the stuff of nightmares. In a desperate attempt to overcome Ul'dah's superior numbers, Sildean alchemists devised a most horrific stratagem. Employing a frightful formula known as the Trader's Spurn, they brought their fallen warriors back as undead soldiers. Some theories have it that they even employed the potion on those of the living who were too weak or wounded to fight. Sends shivers up the spine just thinking about it, no? It is truly a crowning glory of our fair nation that our forebears were able to emerge victorious against those horrors.
Victory is ridden by the winners, they say. Now, this does harken to mind the zombies from the start of all this. Remember the band of zombies that Hildibrand was leading? Oh, Kokabuki, my bro.
What's that you say? You seek knowledge of the bad blood between Ul'dah and Sildi? I suppose I can spare a moment or two, but take good notes, I'm not fond of repeating myself. 2 scales, one of gold and one of silver. The gold of Ul'dah weighing prosperity and power, the silver of Sildi weighing knowledge and power. But the power sought by the 2 nations differed greatly, yes, greatly indeed. The power wrought by Ul'dah in prosperity was that of justice and good, while the power wrought by Sildi knowledge was horrific beyond belief. Power to rip the living soul out of a man and render him a mindless killing machine. On this matter the histories are clear, but riddle me this, my friend. Who writes the histories, and what does this say of the words writ within? Yes, truth can be elusive and fickle as the shifting sands. As one example, did you know that in the war against Sildi, Ul'dah and Amalja warriors fought side by side? Likely you did not, and neither did I, until I encountered a faded passage in an ancient text buried deep in our archives.
Just for context, the Amalja are a race of reptile beastmen who aren't exactly treated very well these days, unfortunately.
And yet, in the histories read by the populace, you will see no mention of this most fascinating fact. Might it be that someone, at some time, deemed this particular truth less than convenient? But I have said enough already.
Well said, Kokabuki. There's Hildibrand. Well, I can't let him see me dressed like this, so... Hello. My ever-loyal associate! Tell me, what have you learned from your questioning of the scholars in these halls? I learned stuff. Indeed. As it happens, I have learned much the same. Let us take a moment to review and allow my peerless powers of deduction to work their magic. A war of succession divides the great civilization of Belladia, giving rise to the sibling nations of Ul'dah and Sildi. The 2 nations coexist for some generations, until ill blood boils over, culminating in outright war. Daunted by Ul'dah's superior military might, Sildi employs their advanced alchemical knowledge to horrific ends, transforming their own citizens, alive and dead, into a fearsome undead legion. Yes, I believe I have it. The facts at hand have led me to one unassailable conclusion. Our phantom thief is a descendant of doomed Sildi, who seeks vengeance against those who reduced his countrymen to slavering zombies. To pacify his soul and send him peacefully to the next world, there is but one course of action. We must find the Sildine statesman who conceived this dreadful stratagem and have him apologize to the thief in person for the suffering he has wrought. Wasn't that hundreds of years ago? A brilliant plan. Perhaps you'd like to go find yourself a shovel and dig this statesman out of his grave yourself. Leaving aside this nonsense of spirits inspectors, it appears increasingly likely that our quarry shares some link to Sildi. His garish garb is no doubt meant to evoke the silver scales of the fallen sultanate. This Sildine connection could also serve to explain the rare knowledge of Belladian relics our thief clearly possesses. But what of the murder victims? What common thread amongst them could have incurred the ire of our adversary? A few people in town spoke of a man sighted calling upon the victims in the past days. Those who saw him said he had a most frightening air about him. Wait. Yes, it's coming to me. Of course. My keen investigator senses ring out with a voice loud and clear. This man Miss Ellie speaks of just might know something. You really should stop thinking so hard. You're like to strain a brain muscle. Miss Ellie, who is this man and where might we find him?
My sources identified the man as Gugaria, a traveling merchant known to frequent Horizon. Shall we pay him a visit?
Excellent plan. That said straight there. Thankfully, we don't have to go to the Waking Sands. Well, that was fast. My keen instincts tell me that Master Gugaria's testimony will be key to a monumental breakthrough in our investigation. Yes, I shall employ the ancient Manderville art of parley to skillfully extract the information we require. Whatever you say.
Yes? If you've got business, make it quick. My time's too valuable to waste chatting with every stranger who passes by. Forgive us, good sir. My name is Ellie, a reporter with the Mithril Eye. Never blinking, all-seeing. You know the rest. I was wondering if we could trouble you with just a few questions.
Was it for love or money that you killed them? Yes, you, the thief of many faces.
Me? A thief? What is this nonsense? I don't know who you are, but I ain't got the time or the patience for this mummery. Now if you'll excuse me, an important client awaits.
I thought I recognized that voice. Who? Oh, it's Lady Dorilda! Yeah, you're awful, screw you. Lady Dorilda, well met indeed. Pray tell, whatever brings you to these environs this fair morning?
Why, I live here, you ham-headed half-wit. Inspector Briardian, this is an unexpected pleasure. Do you have some business with my associate here, pray tell? Gugaria, we can discuss business after. Pray lend the inspector here, the handsome one, whatever assistance he requires. But Lady Dorilda, what about... Ah, yes, my dear Maria's name day present. I had in mind one of the prize pieces from Estame's latest seasonal collection. You would be able to procure one for me, yes? Or shall I eliminate the middleman and make the trip to Ul'dah myself? I'll say it just once more, Gugaria. I expect you to give the inspector and his companions your full assistance. They, yes, even this stupid one, helped me regain something truly priceless. Yes, something more valuable than any mere trinket.
You don't suppose Dorilda could be a potential victim? That's unnerving.
All right, I'll tell you what I know. But you didn't hear it from me, got it? I was looking into the killing on behalf of a client of mine. The thief's got himself some of that zombie dust, the traitor's spurn, was it? And his cards speak of 5 victims. It got me thinking. Sildee, 5 victims? Aye, the Arbiters of Truth. The Arbiters of Truth? I'm not familiar with the name. Aye, few would be, on account of them being something of a secret society and all. Influential personages of the Sultanate, you see, working from the shadows to keep false knowledge about the Ul'dah-Sildee conflict from reaching the ears of folk like you and me. False knowledge? Pray tell, just what sort of knowledge might that be? False balls, don't make me... He said it! He said it! Yeah!
Okay, everyone who plays Final Fantasy XIV just cheered. And if you don't play it and you don't know what the significance of Thal's balls is, well, just take it at face value.
Thal's balls, don't make me say no more. I've got a family to feed. Very well, just tell us one thing. Who hired you and where can we find him? Hob. His name's Hob. When he heard what I said, he told me that he was going to set sail for Limsa with his 5 best sellswords to guard his back. Said there were many prying eyes at the airship docks. Said he had a private ship docked and waiting for him at Vesper Bay. But remember, you didn't hear none of this from me, oh no. Oh no, I need to go to the Waking Sands, don't I? This man Hob must be the one of the killer's targets. Doubtless he also knows the identity of the remaining one. I doubt that. They say the Arbiters are so secretive, they don't even know each other's true identities. Now don't ask me how that all works, but Hobbs got high-ranking friends in the Brass Blades. Once he heard the victims had all been zombified, he panicked. Guess he knew that he'd be next.
Thank you very much, my kind sir. Once again, the ancient Manderville art of parley has procured for us a key morsel of knowledge. Let us seek out this Hobb fellow and see what he can share with us. And let us hurry, the man's life is in danger even as we speak. I would hear what this Hobb fellow has to say. Come, my ever-loyal associate, let us away to Vesper Bay with all speed. Ah. How many times have I made this trip? How many? 100? I think it's over 100 at this point. Whoa. Trouble.
Master Hobb, is everything quite all right?
No, stand back, Ellie. Hunger. I hunger for your brains. Damn. There's no saving the man, Zephyria. Do what you must. Really? Uh-oh. Oh. No combat, just cutscene. Yes, my first-hand knowledge of zombies tells me this particular shade of green is unmistakably that of the undead. 'Twould seem we were a few moments late to the scene.
A message. And then there was one.
There it is again.
Huh? Is something the matter, Inspector?
Indeed, Nashu, there is. Ever since I picked up the trail of the Phantom Thief, I've had this fleeting sense... a sense of that someone, or something, is watching us.
The thief might be close at hand. We should be careful.
For the moment, let us return and report our findings to Miss Felice. Secret society or no, knowing the identities of its members may yet lead us to the final victim.
I, too, had best return to the Mithril Eye. Let's meet up again after. I'll see what new clues I can uncover in the meantime.
You will do nothing of the sort, Miss Ellie. These streets are far too dangerous for you to walk alone.
Inspector! Inspector, I'll go with her.
If you insist, Nashu, then I give my leave. But pray be wary. Not just of the thief, but of Miss Ellie. She has quite the temper, as we both know. Miss Ellie, there is something I must tell you when this case is over. Be safe and promise me that you will not attempt anything rash, as you did that time when the fiend took aim at my own life.
Your life, Oh, at Costa del Sol. Yes, that was quite the ordeal, wasn't it?
Even my own character's looking away. Yes, that ceiling is so fascinating. Lovely brickwork.
I'll be careful. I promise. I eagerly await the day when I may hear what it is that you would share with me.
A secret vow. Oh-ho! Consider my interest piqued as well, good Inspector. Now let us be off. Miss Felice awaits our report. Briarden and Ellie sitting in a tree. Kissing. Huh. Let's head there. The news of Hobbs' death will not sit well with Miss Felice, but a gentleman must do what a gentleman must do. Some shifty-looking fellow was eyeing the vaults before, but he took off faster than a fleeing cactar as soon as my gaze met his eye. Aye, just like I cowed many a garling on the plains of... Oh, it's you. I see through your lies.
A fourth victim. Thal, have mercy. Were you able to glean aught of a connection to the other victims? The arbiters of truth. No, it cannot be.
Oh, Ellie.
Somebody, help! Miss Ellie? The voice came from the direction of the vault. You must hurry.
Miss Ellie, are you hurt?
That man. I only thought to ask him a few questions before I knew what was happening. He was upon me. I could only...
Bash his brains with a conveniently placed bottle of mead, it would seem. Haha, you remind me not to get on your bad side, Miss Ellie. That said, is Nashu not with you?
She saw a figure lurking in the shadows and went off in pursuit before I could stop her. This man wears the armor of a sultan-sworn squire, yet his face is unfamiliar to me. Something is amiss.
Really?
The thief of many faces. To think he would find our man like this.
Thrice and again did the fiend elude our grasp, but no more. By virtue of a gentleman's ingenious deductions and a lady's pugilistic puissance, I declare this case closed. I return this sachet to you, Miss Felice. Whilst the gesture was appreciated, in the end it proved superfluous to my cracking of the case. Huh. That's a good point. How did Felice just sprinkle powder if she doesn't have her own sachet? While you're at it, is there anything else of immense value you'd like to wantonly destroy? A double fake.
What? What is the meaning of this?
I recognize this guard. He was in that initial conversations with Felice. Ingenious. A double disguise. Planted by the thief to throw us off his trail, no doubt. This is... Guigu?
One of my most capable men. I assigned him to guard the vault and outfitted him with an ample supply of damasking dust. It is inconceivable that the thief would so easily elude his grasp.
Unless the thief was not wearing a mask. Speaking of which, has anyone seen Miss Ellie? No. That's impossible. Of course, it all makes perfect sense. With the phantom thief to thank for her burgeoning readership and rise through the ranks of the Mithril Eye, Miss Ellie could not bear to face the possibility of her story of a lifetime coming to an end. Thus, she hatched a plan to... My lady, the vault has been breached. The wise man's whisper, it's gone. The what?
For her foul crimes against the Sultanate, I hereby declare Ellie of the Mithril Eye, the thief of many faces, an enemy of the state. Deploy all troops and do not rest until she is in custody.
I don't think this is possible. And now the game is truly afoot. Who are you, man of mystery? Bah! What is the meaning of all this racket and rumpus? And just as we are about to make our triumphant return, isn't that so, Enkidu? Well, Ellie was with us in the tunnel. How could she have possibly had the time to...
Miss Ellie! Miss Ellie! That shadow you said you saw, I think it was just a dormouse.
To think he'd literally stumble face first onto the second mask. His good fortune truly knows no end. But not to worry. Yes, I dare say the Phantom Thief has another trick or two up his sleeve. No, not Nashu! Ah, this is getting grim. At least she wasn't zombified. This is truly getting out of hand. Wow. I can't believe I forgot all of this, man. It all feels so fresh.
How could we have been so blind?
When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable. Is that an Ace Attorney reference? Like, on the nose? Really? Okay, surely Ace Attorney couldn't have come up with that phrase, but it appears a lot in those games. Neat. Beneath the mask. Not even the shockingness turn of events will deter the famed agent of inquiry. My ever-loyal associate must find Miss Ellie, and quickly. Surely if confronted by her constant companions, she can still be convinced to abandon this fool plan. Oh-ho, Miss Felice. I thought you had already departed in the company of your men. But all for the better. Shall we conduct the search together?
I fear that would only put them at greater risk. You see, the fifth and final member of the Arbiters of Truth, the Phantom Thief's final target, is none other than...
Hildibrand Mander?
Me. Mind you, it is not a role I sought of my own accord. My name and my passion for history are somewhat well known in the Sultanate. One day, I received an anonymous letter stating that a position in the committee had opened and I had been chosen to fill it. The letter went on to enumerate my duties, to prevent the spread of historical lies that would sully the name of our illustrious nation. As a high-ranking officer in the Sultan's Sworn, I was deemed to be a particularly unique position to serve as an arbiter. I knew that there were other members of the organization, but was told nothing of their names or identities. To think that my unknown compatriots were the victims all along. I cannot put any more lives in danger. I will sequester myself in a place where my presence can cause no harm until such time as the killer is apprehended.
Your concern for our well-being is most touching, Miss Felice, but there is no need for such caution. As a seasoned inspector, I am more than capable of protecting a lady in distress, and as a gentleman, that is exactly what I shall do. My associates here also stand at your side. Speaking of which, has anyone seen my loyal assistant?
Inspector, over here!
Hello. Oh, there you are, Nashu. You really shouldn't run off on your own like that. I was worried sick about you.
I'm sorry, Inspector. Miss Ellie said she saw somebody in the shadows, so I went to take a look. Now, there wasn't anything there but a dormouse, but it was a really cute dormouse, you see? Just kept squeaking and scurrying away, and I just...
Pardon me for a moment, Nashu. Yes, my inspector's sense speaks to me. Someone is watching us. Zephyria, let us split up and canvass our surroundings. You know what would be really funny? If Nashu's stalker saved the day by pointing out that she was a fake.
Where is Miss Ellie? Do you think she went looking for the dormouse too?
Apologies, Zephyria, but I require a moment alone with my thoughts.
I cannot allow my presence to put more men in danger.
Yeah, so let's look around. A water-stained letter. Interesting. It lies conspicuously on the floor. Be wary and be warned. Eh. Eh. Another? Someone's leaving a breadcrumb trail. Trust no one and your friends all the less. Water-stained. Water-stained. This one has a sack nearby it. This will avail you well, use it wisely. You obtain a sachet of damasking dust. In the next instant you feel an intimidating presence behind you. Uh-oh. Oh. Hi. Ho ho ho! If it isn't my beloved son's staunch companion, the mighty Zephyria. I was in the area on a matter of business, which I curtailed when I felt a suspicious presence from the shadows. Pursuing it led me here. Mayhap it is the same for you. I like the step back. That's a good touch. Oh, so your pursuit of the thief of many faces has taken quite the unexpected turn, and now you have come upon a series of anonymous letters. Mayhap our watcher in the shadows is a friend, or is this but another trap laid by the fiend? Yes, the plot thickens like a dollop of salamander oil. In either event, I dare say the circumstances call for utmost caution. The thief could be anywhere, or anyone. Myself excluded, of course. No mere mask could replicate the physique of this Manderville man. That said, I fear my dear Hildy may be in a bit over his head this time. Allow me to assist in your investigation. Were anything to happen to Hildibrand, his dear mother would, not be pleased. Well, that's nice. We have Godbert's help. That's awesome. Well, I suppose the obvious answer is to use this on Nashu right away. Well, 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 look who it is. Something just isn't right. Yeah, that's not the Nashu he fell in love with.
Where's Miss Ellie? Do you think she went looking for the dormouse too?
Fair enough. If the sender speaks true, the villain even now lurks within our midst. And yet we have but a single sachet of damasking dust at our disposal. We must identify the impostor beyond reasonable doubt before we proceed. You know the players better than I, Zephyria. What say you have a few words with each of them and see if aught is amiss? That's a sensible plan. Police.
Am I doomed to share the same fate as the others? I'd sooner die than become one of those things.
Miss Ellie is the phantom thief. It is the only logical conclusion. And yet I cannot help but feel that another truth still evades us.
Inspector Briardian told me all about it. Who'd have thunk Miss Ellie was the phantom thief all this time? She sure fooled me.
Nothing particularly odd about any of them, you say? It stands to reason. The fiend would not take such a risk if he were not utterly confident that he could pull off the ruse. Curses! This one's not half the fool his son is. I must elude him, and quickly. Time is of the essence. I questioned the Sultan sworn outside. To a man, they insist they have seen naught of Miss Ellie. Wherever could she have gone? Father? What brings you here? Yes, finally the pieces are coming together. Now, if you would kindly stand still and shut up, the fiend already stands among us. He said it. Inspector Briardian, I should hope you are not doubting me. Well, I'm quite convinced that even a master impersonator would struggle to recreate your particular brand of idiocy. The fact remains that anyone here who has spent even a moment alone must be considered a suspect. The thief has proven to be highly efficient at assuming new identities. An astute observation, my gangly friend. I'd say this occasion calls for a dose or two of that powder Zephyria here found earlier. There wouldn't happen to be another satchel or two lying about, would there?
What remains of our supply has already been distributed to the search party, but worry not, they should be reporting back within a bell's time.
Ha! Time might be against me, but just you watch. I'll wiggle my way out of this and turn you into the reeking, drooling corpse you deserve to be. I fear that is more time than we can afford, Miss Felice. Fortunately, my powers of deduction will lay the fiend's face bare within minutes. We know that, given the choice, the thief prefers to impersonate familiar personages. As Miss Ellie has only a passing interactions with my dear father, we can safely eliminate him from consideration. That leaves myself, Nashu, and Zephyria here. Nashu and I, in particular, have had a close and extended relationship with our suspect. I shall begin by questioning mine own assistant. I assure you that none know her better than I.
Brilliant reasoning as ever, Inspector. Go on, ask me anything.
Of all the times for this overstuffed buffoon to start talking sense, if he asks me anything too obscure, my cover is as good as blown. My relationship with Nashu is so close, I dare say at times it is as if we share a mind. If this Nashu is truly my ever-loyal assistant, she should have no trouble completing my thoughts. Ahem! I'm a Manderville.
Man!
Doing what only a Manderville
can.
From the peaks of Kurthis to Thanalan, Manderville.
Man, you're the best, Inspector.
A perfect score. You may rest easy, dear friends. This is unmistakably, unequivocally, indubitably the true Nashu. Oh, brother.
I've never loved you more than now, you marvelous muttonhead, you.
Nashu, is something the matter? Just because you picked up a few more wrinkles beneath the eyes, there's no need to avert that charming face of yours.
Wrinkles? Wrinkles? Look who's talking, you crusty cretinous old... Genius, Inspector?
The charade is up, Miss Ellie. Miss Ellie, you look somehow different? Does she always have that mole? That beauty mark? Huh. Didn't Ellie once say she had a sister? I swear I think she did. Oh, wow. So the letters spoke true. The fiend was in our midst all along. My prodigious powers of deduction scream out to me. This woman knows something. Another two-layered mask, mayhap. But no, this woman bears a striking resemblance to Miss Ellie.
I was all but certain that Ellie was our thief. What is the meaning of this?
Who was this unfamiliar woman, and what secrets does she hold?
7 hells, done in by a muscle-bound muttonhead and his motley troop of mummers.
Just who are you? Your resemblance to Miss Ellie is most uncanny, and yet...
Consulting Inspector Briardian, once again you fail to measure up to your lofty reputation. Of course we resemble each other. Ellie is, after all, my own flesh and blood, my beloved sister, and my eminently capable partner in crime.
Okay. Sister, okay. But what, really? Partner in crime? Really, for sure?
1,000 faces I may wear, but only one name do I bear. You can call me Cece. Charmed, I'm sure. Are you quite all right? Why, you look as if you've seen a ghost. Despite my moniker, I assure you that Ellie and I are no specters. What we are, mind you, are the last living scions of Sildine aristocracy. Bemused, are you? Befuddled to find 2 sisters behind the mask? Try using your brains once in a while. Every time you encountered the thief, Ellie was standing right in your midst. No, the thief that 4 times stole the show, oh, and those priceless relics, was me. Meanwhile, Ellie hid in plain sight, supplying me with just the knowledge I needed to stay one step ahead of my pursuers, all while spinning the hair-raising tales of my exploits that won the hearts of this nation. We owe a lot to you, truly. Why, without the tales of your hapless attempts to catch me, we never could have risen to these heights of celebrity.
That's right. Ellie told us that the hearts of the common man were swayed by the thief. The commoners were like, yeah, stick it to those uppity nobles. They liked the thief. The press was complicit. My God, it all makes sense. Miss Cece, from a gentleman to a lady, I would ask you one thing and one thing only. Just what is it that you and Miss Ellie hope to accomplish with all of your schemes?
Justice. 400 years ago, Ul'dan dogs reduced our great nation to a nation of zombies. At long last, the cowards that would still justify those foul deeds will suffer the same fate.
Wait, the histories say it was Sildee that turned their own men into zombies.
The histories lie, and you work from the shadows, silencing those who would speak the truth. You should have died with your fellows, false arbiter. It was Ul'dah that ordered the creation of that dreadful powder and wielded it as a weapon against our proud ancestors. The history of your glorious sultanate is built on a lie.
What is this madness you speak, woman?
Not madness. Truth. The powder in my possession was stolen from the Ul'dan army 4 centuries ago by one of my ancestors. They say it was his final act of courage in the moments before his leg fell off and his rotting head dropped from his shoulders. This is the truth that the histories don't tell. The truth that this doe-eyed sultan sworn would kill to keep buried deep in the sands of Thanalan.
You know, I did have a bit of suspicion. When Felice said that her role as an arbiter, from that letter that was sent to her to invite her to the group, the role of an arbiter of justice is to keep up the history, to maintain history, and to silence those who would decry it. I hate to say it, but everything CC says seems to be correct.
But your time of reckoning is nigh. Oh yes, before long you and everyone in this rotten nation will know firsthand the horrors my ancestors knew.
And just what do you mean by that?
Oh, how the idiots lap up the stories. A masked crusader for justice, a dashing rebel raging battle against power and authority. Oh, if only they knew. But they will see soon enough, when they're eating each other's brains out on the streets. In the last days before our proud nation was razed to the ground, a band of the final survivors stole a vast quantity of the powder from the Ul'dan vaults, hiding it away in a secret vault sealed with powerful magics. The sole means by which the vault may be opened? By assembling 4 secret relics from Belladia, 4 relics once housed in the royal palace of Sildee before the Uldan dogs stole them and claimed them for their own. And so it dawns upon you at last. Yes, even as we speak, Ellie makes for the vault, the 4 relics safely in hand. Just think, one day you'll be able to tell your grandchildren you were there when zombie powder rained down on Ulda. No, wait, you'll all be dead.
Preposterous.
But first, you, my dear. You will not even have the pleasure of looking upon the last moments of your precious homeland. Let your flesh rot like all your rotten lies.
I think not, Miss CC.
Hildibrand. You idiot! Just for once, could you not get in the way?
Godbert Manderville, I can't even trust your sorry arse to look after him for a day. There she is, at last. I knew it! That presence watching over us from the shadows. It was you, my dear wife. The most terrifying woman to ever walk this earth. Am I to understand that you are Hildibrand's mother? Aye, this is more like it. Hand to hand, skillet to skillet. It's enough to send a warrior's pulse racing. Prepare yourself, Zephyria. The time of our final confrontation is nigh. Oh, not now, Greg. Read the room. Yeah!
Do you have popotos for brains, you overstuffed buffoon? My beloved boy's been turned into a stinking corpse if you hadn't bloody noticed. You, Zephyria or something, was it? Hi. Hildy's told me all about your hijinks together. Pleased to meet ya.
So, Julian, I saw her earlier in this quest chain. She was one of the ladies that Ultros tried to flirt with, but I didn't say anything because I knew she would show up soon. Yeah, you can go look back and look. It's early on in the Ultros video. Part 4, I think. Yeah, Ultros is very lucky to not have died at that very moment.
My dear boy's always had a bit of a rebellious streak. What can I say? I can come on a bit too strong at times. But can you blame me? This time I thought I'd sit back and leave things to my sorry-arse husband here. Look what that got me. You'll help me out, won't you?
Everyone's scared of Julian. Quest accepted. I guess we have a return of Zombiebrand, huh? I dare say it's quite clear who wears the pants in the family, so to speak.
Yeah, Godbert doesn't wear any pants, does he? Inspector Hildibrand's mother?
Oh, I should have looked at Greg. Oh well.
reunited with my dear boy for the first time in ages, and just look at him! He's green. Fortunately, there's still time to reverse the zombie curse, and I know just the remedy. A phial of holy water. The ingredients are simple. A tatter of oversoul rags and a phial of choice distilled water. The market stocks the former, and the latter you can procure from a trader by the name of Jeste. Now hurry, once the poison spreads through his veins, that no antidote will save him. In the meantime, I will search for the bumbler's bumbling assistant. With any luck, Miss Nashu is still alive.
Ouch, that smarts. Ye gads, Hildy. You're looking none too hard at yourself.
No thanks to you, you bumbling oaf. Now, are you gonna accompany Zephyria here and make yourself useful, or do I have to reintroduce you to that wall?
But of course, m'lady. Gilgamesh is ever at your service. Sint got sundries, was it? Come now, Zephyria, there is work to be done.
Cheers, Greg.
Alright then. Looks like there was no mark left on the wall, so that's good. Let's head there. Time is of the essence. Oversoul rags, you say? I fear that I've only a single tatter left in stock, and it's already been spoken for. But, my good man, you must reconsider. My dear friend's life, and quite possibly mine own as well, hangs in the balance. I sympathize with your plight, friend, but a man has to make a living. I've been promised a copious supply of rare chimera membrane for these rags. Unless you can offer me the same, no deal. Gah, you expect us to be able to summon such a rarity out of nowhere at a moment's notice.
Well, look what we have here. If it isn't the Warrior of Light from the Colosseum. Funny who you meet at the markets? Who? Oh yeah, the Alamegans. As it happens, I just returned from my training, and the slaying of 10 chimeras just happened to be my task for the day. If it's chimera membrane you seek, you're more than welcome to a share. Wow, that's convenient.
My lady, you are far too kind.
Don't mention it. If it hadn't been for Inspector Hildibrand and Zephyria here, I'd still be tag-teaming with that slimy beast and cheating my way to fame and fortune. And I'm a woman who pays her debts.
Thal, take me if that wasn't Avila the Tempest. Ever since she confessed to her trickery and started climbing back up from the bottom of the ranks, I've been proud to call myself one of her biggest fans. Why, I've half a mind to give you the rags you seek simply for the privilege of meeting her. A kind sentiment, my good man, but we are more than happy to uphold our side of the bargain, aren't we, Zephyria? And with this, our task here is done. Now, let us find this traitor named Jeste.
It occurs to me that could be pronounced jest, but there's only room for one jest here, thank you. Wait, there? The hell? Hello? The blundering Manderville boy is on his last legs and he needs something of mine to save him, you say? Huh. Perhaps you can give me a good reason why I should care. Those bloody Mandervilles are richer than the traders themselves, yet they have the audacity to haggle me down to the last gilla for every purchase. If the family line ended today, I'd be a happier and wealthy man. And now I believe the ballroom calls. Good day to you, and do pass along my condolences to the grieving parents.
Have you not a shred of honor or compassion in that spindly body? Business rival or no, the man is on death's doorstep.
Who? After the events of that day, my father will not be so easily forgive and forget, but it matters not to me. No, my love for you is as deep as the 7 seas. I beg of you, milady, may I have this dance? Who?
Ah, it's a lovely couple. Hi. Hello.
Zephyria, what a lovely surprise. Are you here for the ball, perchance? Heavens, the poor inspector.
Well, if it isn't the Lapis Maiden in the flesh. What say you bid farewell to preening fops and scruffy adventurers and share a dance with a cultured gentleman befitting your great beauty?
Why, it'd be a pleasure and an honor both, my lord. Provided you first provide my good friend Zephyria with a bottle of choice distilled water that she seeks.
Yeah. You know this woman? Bah, that is the price you would set, then so be it. Take it. It's barely worth its weight in gil anyway. Now, shall we, Miss Arabella? Well, ain't that sweet? How nice to run into these fine folk again. I knew Hildy to be a worthy rival. To think he was this beloved by so many. Clearly this realm would deeply mourn his loss. Quickly, Zephyria, let us deliver these goods while there is still time to save him. The whole gang's here, really. That's cool.
I trust the two of you wouldn't dare come back empty-handed.
Oversoul rags and choice distilled water.
Bloody brilliant! I'd take you over my muscle-headed half-wit of a husband any day. Now stand back and let me show you some real Manderville home cooking. Thal, you bloody bugger, guide my skillet.
My god, she's cooking with the power of the death god.
Aye, that should stop its spread. Now it's up to Hildy to flush what's left out of his system. Don't worry, he's my son after all. I reckon he's still got some fight left in him. Look who I found. She was slumbering obliviously in a rubbish-strewn corner of Pearl Lane. Boy, did that nap feel good. Yes, I'm sure it did. Zephyria, word has it that Ellie has been sighted at the Sildine ruins and must go there with all haste. You've done well by my dear boy today. Don't worry, I'll handle things from here. There's a nice warm bed for him, and I think I know a few specialists who might know a thing or two about his condition. What in the seven hells are you standing around for? The future of Ul'dah is at stake.
Zephyria, my strength is yours as well. For Ul'dah, and for our friend Hildy.
You remind me of a husband, what with you having more muscles than sense. If you're so keen on making yourself useful, why don't you run to the markets and bring me some fire crystals? Keeping my dear boy warm is key to fighting off the zombification. Let's see, I believe 20 crates or so should suffice.
I am a warrior, not yes, milady. Poor Greg. Oh, hello. I say, Enkidu, the burden we must bear simply to secure my long-awaited final confrontation with Zephyria. That said, the events of today were giving me cause to reflect. Zephyria and Hildy both. Oh, to be blessed with such veritable legions of friends tried and true. But alas, not I. Only one true friend have I ever known, and she is long lost to me. Oh no, wait, hold on. Oh no, wait, hold on. Okay, hold on, okay. You are a fine bird, and have given me great comfort in my travels, but you will never be Enkidu, my one and true companion. Oh, my friend, were you here with me, even Zephyria could not stand against our combined might. Oh, Enkidu, wherever you may wander, hear my words, and return here to my side. Enkidu, do you hear me? Enkidu!
God damn it.
Ye gods! What was that flash from the heavens? It nearly blinded me. And what? The crystals! Where have they gone?
That son of a bitch. Fancy meeting you here, old friend.
That voice. Could it be? My faithful companion. Why must you always make me wait so?
That bastard went and summoned a primal, didn't he? Okay, I need to... Okay. Wow, I forgot about this. Okay, so... a bit of a little lesson on the intrinsic nature of the way the rules of the universe works in Final Fantasy XIV. So, primals. Right. So, crystals contain ether. A huge abundance of ether. And if you have a bunch of crystals together in one place, you get a huge font of ether. Just a huge well to tap from. Now, if that well starts to get colored by intense faith, or belief, or yearning, or just powerful, focused emotions for a desire in any way by nearby people, well, the result is the creation of an artificial being known as a primal. Most usually, they take the form of gods. They aren't the actual, literal gods made flesh. No, primals just take the idealized shape of a god. In this case, Gilgamesh seems to have summoned Enkidu as a primal. It's not the real Enkidu that he's missing. It's a being of pure ether made in Enkidu's image. Now, the problem with primals is that they don't stop at the consumption of ether from just what they were summoned from. No, they tap the land dry. They kill the land just by existing. They're like infinite absorption sponges. What's worse, primals also have the power to mind control people, called tempering. And when a primal tempers someone, that victim becomes a devoted, adherent to the primal's every whim, and there is no known cure. Primals are a huge problem. And in fact, my character, the Warrior of Light, got her name by becoming a primal slayer, so this is scary stuff. Anyway, Julian, what's going on? Her last vow. Julian would send you on your way. What are you doing dilly-dallying around here? Let me jog your memory. There's a moon-sick maid digging around at the Sildi excavation site with her mind set on turning Ul'dah into the land of the walking dead. Your concern for Hildy is most touching, but don't you worry. Mommy dearest isn't going to let her beloved son kick the bucket that easily. Sounds good. Let's head straight there. Well, there's the city of Ul'dah, and just below, the ruins of Sildi. Quite a powerful image, don't you think? Oh, what am I looking for? Up here. Hello? You've managed to track down Miss Ellie just up ahead, where your friends watch over as we speak. Yet no matter how many times we try to reach out to her, she refuses to so much as answer. Needless to say, we considered physically incapacitating her, but that crate she's sitting on isn't just a makeshift chair. It's filled to the brim with the traitor's spurn. One misstep, and the consequences would be dire indeed. You are our only hope, Zephyria. Even in her single-minded rage, surely the time you spent together must still count for something. You need not put yourself in undue danger. I only ask that you step forth to where your voice may be heard and call out your friend's name. I beg of you, Zephyria. Surely if anyone can convince the woman to abandon her madness, it is you.
Oh, right. I need to actually use the chat to call out her name. So I'll head there. Hello, Greg. Oh-ho! To think this girl and her sister were behind the crimes all along. I dare say this realm is awash with capable adversaries.
Miss Ellie, and I thought we were friends.
Whoops. You do well not to anger the lass, friend. She's sitting atop an ample supply of that zombie powder, and I suspect she's not afraid to use it.
It beggars belief that I could have been so blind.
Here we go. And say, E-L-L-I-E, exclamation mark. She has a sword, the necklace, earrings.
Zephyria, I suggest you leave this place while you still can. I bear you no grudge, but should you so much as think of interfering, I'll not hesitate to turn you into a zombie too. So it was you after all. Consider me disappointed. Your sister Cece is already in custody. Surrender now, and I will see that no harm befalls her. How little you understand us, Inspector. Then again, how could one born into a life of power and privilege ever hope to understand? Cece and I have no family, no friends, no fortune, nothing. Two sisters against the world, with only our quest for justice to give us meaning. Long ago, we made a vow. Should the worst happen, our mission takes priority over all. Yes, over our own wretched lives. Do you see now? Anything I might have once had to lose, I lost long ago. Now stand down or suffer the same fate as the Uldan dogs you would defend. Ellie, stop this madness. I'm sorry, Inspector.
There's too many of them. Yeah! All in a day's work for a Mandeville man, and now... I didn't read that in time. Yeah! Air combos!
You only delay the inevitable. I have an entire legion of the undead at my beck and call. Face it, it's only with Inspector Hildibrand's ridiculously good fortune that he even made it this far. And he's as good as 6 films under.
Be forewarned, girl. Know that I speak from experience when I say, underestimate Hildy, and you do so at your own peril.
I'm afraid you underestimate me as well. No mere splash of holy water can stave off the effects of the traitor's spurn. I fear the good inspector's luck has finally run out.
Oh, now I know why it's called the traitor's spurn. The traitors are the two death gods, Nald and Thal. Okay. He said it! Thal's balls. Is there no end to them? I'm not liking our chances. Greg, was it?
It's a shame to lose you, Zephyria. Warrior of light that you are, you might yet have served one last purpose for us. Go forth, my zombie minions!
Huh?
When darkness falls and hope fades to despair, 4 warriors born of light shall descend in the righteous glare. Bugger me with a broadsword, are my eyes to be believed? That pose. No, these are not 4 warriors of light that I see. They are 4 gentlemen of light!
Just so, my good man. Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, has made his triumphant return. Did you miss me?
I did.
Aye, we meet again, girl. Tell me you've got my snurble tonic, or I'll fashion myself a wig from your lovely locks after I've ripped them clean from your bloody head.
Oh, hello there, Mr. Elazar. Cor, you're looking absolutely resplendent today. Impossible. The holy water couldn't have cured him.
It didn't. Fortunately, our overlord spent quite some time building up an immunity to zombie powder. When we heard that Master Zombiebrand was at risk of joining the actual dead, we knew we had to take action.
Immunity to... Oh, I'm just going to pretend that makes any kind of sense.
It doesn't make sense. But it's so cool. The game is up, Miss Ellie. Pray abandon this madness. Besides, plots of mass murder hardly suit a lady like yourself.
It's over. It's all over. Inspector Briardian, you said there was something you would tell me when all was through. I imagine you have no words for me now.
Ellie, your powers of deduction are wanting. You said that you had lost everything and everyone you had to lose, did you not? As for me, I have found something, someone, with whom I intend never to part. I care not if it takes years, even decades. When you emerge from your jail cell a free woman, I will be there. What say you? Now we don't hear her response. Aww. Miss Ellie, while the crimes perpetrated by you and your sister are unpardonable, you are far from the only ones guilty. On behalf of the Syndicate, I offer my apologies for the false aspersions cast upon your ancestors. You said that the nation of Ul'dah was built on lies. Seeing what I have seen today, I cannot deny your words. It will not be an easy task to rewrite, nay, restore history. But know this, I will do everything in my power to bring the truth to the fore. Ahem. Are we not forgetting someone here? And by someone, I mean me. If you're quite done playing cloak and dagger, I require Zephyria's presence for a matter of far greater importance. Aye, the time of our too long-delayed confrontation is nigh. Read the room. Why, the long face, friend. Ah, but mayhap this will have you singing a happier tune. Could it be? The treaty blade, and the true one at that. None other, and I have not the slightest intention of parting with it, save to the one who would defeat me in single combat. Ah, but I misspeak. It will not be single combat this time.
Is that my cue, old friend?
Oh, damn.
Thal be merciful. What is that abomination? Some new breed of void scent.
Worse. Abomination? I'll thank you to address my companion with courtesy, girl. Ah, but was the most curious thing. There I was, hauling the crateful of crystals for Hildy's mother, and thinking how much better things would be if my dear friend Enkidu were here. Then came a flash from the heavens, and the next thing I knew, there she was. I like the faces of the zombies in the background. That's neat.
By the gods, it makes perfect sense. Doubtless the crystals heard Greg's heartfelt plea, summoning forth his friend. Nay, no mere friend, but rather the primal Enkidu. And the world has now completely and utterly ceased to be bound by the laws of logic.
Zephyria, you may have bested me in the past, but facing the two of us together will not prove as so easy a task. And yet I trust you will not shirk from the challenge. Aye, Enkidu and I shall await you at Amdapor Keep. "'Tis a ways from here, but what better venue for our climactic confrontation? If you would claim the treaty blade, then claim it from me as a warrior. To the skies, Enkidu! To the skies!"
Two against one? That's not very gentlemanly of you, Greg. Come, Zephyria, to Amdapor! This is a grave development indeed. To think that one man could summon a primal on his own. I must send word to the Scions at once.
Hey, I'm the only scion you need, lady.
Oh, but of course. I had near forgotten we had a warrior of light in our very midst. Please, Zephyria, you are our only hope to slay the primal and reclaim the blade.
Yeah, the zombies believe in me. That's neat. Aw, hell yeah. Oh, it's raining. Huh.
All's well that ends well, eh, Zephyria? So these undead acquaintances were kind enough to make an appearance at my request. Who'd have thought zombies could be such gentlemen? I reckon it must be my son's good influence.
Ho ho ho! I knew that if anything could bring Hildy back from the undead, it would be my dear wife's hand mixed holy water. That's the world-class culinarian I married.
The gentlemen of light. Core, they were every bit as radiant as I pegged them to be. One day I'll be a hero myself, just you watch. Look at the Inspector go! I'm right behind you, Inspector! And with that, my work here is done. You are by far the least incompetent associate I encountered in my travels. For preserving some shred of my sanity, you have my thanks. That said, my time in this land was not a total loss. My experiences here have taught me an important lesson. That this world and the fools who populate it rarely, if ever, abide by the principles of logic. This should serve me well in my future cases. And most importantly of all, I leave here with a vow that has given my life new meaning. But this is no time for sentiment. Well said, Briardian. After 400 years, this might very well spell the end for the Arbiters of Truth. Whether or not to replace the Fallen is a decision that for my superiors to make. In either event, I have decided to renounce my position. I thought they were but white lies, but I have seen firsthand the suffering they can cause. Ellie, forgive me. I'm sorry for deceiving you, Zephyria. For what it's worth, it wasn't personal.
Well then, we leave our friends behind and go to do battle with the Primal. Let's go. Here we are in the lush greenery of the Shroud. Oh, okay. I really should have expected this.
Is that you, Zephyria? Pray forgive me. I was right on Greg's trail when I encountered a subterranean curiosity that demanded my immediate attention. I will be concluding my investigation forthwith, but in the meantime, might I trouble you to entertain Greg and his primal friend in my stead? Together we will reclaim the treaty blade from that knave, Zephyria. Yes. Oh, just go on ahead. I'll be around directly.
Battle in the Big Keep now accessible. Man. They really front-loaded the 8-man fights in the Hildibrand side quests in the A Realm Reborn section. This is the third. There are 5 total, at least at the time of recording this. But that said, the complexity of the fights, the next 2 fights, are much increased. So, I would rather take the quality over quantity, to be sure. Anywho, time to queue up. Well, that didn't take too long. Alright. Let's head in. At long last, we will meet again on the battlefield. I dare say Enkidu has come. Enjoy tussles as much as I. Yeah. I couldn't speak fast, I don't know. I give up. Read it yourself, you damn freeloader. Okay. Yeah. The battle commences. I think we should focus our eyes on Enkidu, so focus on them. Actually, crap! Everyone's focusing on Gilgamesh. Oh well, I'll focus on you. Oh, they share health, that's right. Doesn't really matter who we attack then. What's he doing? Debuffs. There's a lot going on here. I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm just hitting the buttons. Uh-oh. We're turning into chickens. That's not good. What do I do? Ow. Well, one of our number managed to evade this. Back to Enkidu. I don't want to reapply my weakness. I think the arena might shift in a bit. So I'll hold on to my cooldowns for now. Enkidu's nearly fallen. Ow. Fight on, Enkidu, my ever-faithful, huh? Enkidu! Are the bonds of our friendship so fragile? Enkidu is slain. Now it's on to just Gilgamesh. Me run away? Ha! I was but seeking out a more suitable spot to celebrate my victory. But enough exposition. Now we fight like men, and ladies who dress like men. For Gilgamesh, it is transmogrifying time. The mightiest warrior ever to grace Eorzea stands before you, by which I mean I, Gilgamesh. Prepare yourself. Hell yeah. Well, thanks for waiting for me, everyone. You'll get no quarter from me this time. Have at thee. You heard the man. Go all in. I remember this fight is actually a bit interesting. You have some skill, I'll give you that, but Gilgamesh is, I couldn't read inside. Uh-oh. Diagonals. What's the matter, friend? All tied up? Ah. My ally is now covered in chains. I need to free them. You're one of our healers to boot. Yeah, I need to free you right away. Gilgamesh is in the mood for dancing. Most impressive. Very well. I too shall, I can't read it in time. It's too fast. Mind where you step. Uh-oh. No, I'm locked in by the animation. Okay. Whew. That was close. All the times to trick attack, man. And now for something truly shocking. No, the mighty Gilgamesh will not be defeated. You know, I seem to recall there were dragon heads in this fight, but I'm not sure where they are. He's almost down. Oh, he's going for more chains, but I think we can just finish him. 2%. 1%. I got the last hit, I think. How nice. To think that my full complement of arms would avail me not. No more hijinks from Gilgamesh, you have my word. The Treaty Blade too I shall return, just as soon as I remember where I hid it. Anyway, I yield to your unparalleled presence. Spare my... something. Good duel, Greg. No hard feelings. Yeah. player calm, and loot. Oh, Enkidu minion. Hey, I'll pass. I already have one. Never again, so do I solemnly swear. I'll hold you to that, you butt. Let's exit. Not? Ha! I lied again, like a rug. What? You can take that fusty old blade for all I care. There's for true power, and not save the strongest of swords will suffice. Warrior of Light, you have proven a worthy opponent, but I warn you, treasure every moment with your weapon. For as sure as day follows night, the hour will come when I claim it as mine own. Till we meet again. Dude, he better not take my Zodiac weapon. I slaved hours for it. You see these daggers? They took me hours to get. They're my badge of honor. Don't take them. Alright. Hello, Hildy. What ho, Zephyria? Have you seen Greg and his oversized avian companion? Lead me to them at once, and we shall deliver the coup de grace together. The battle has already been won. That is triumphant news indeed. Clearly, the lessons you have learned from me have not been for naught. And what's this, you say? The treaty blade lies hidden somewhere in the nearby wood. Worry not, my ever-loyal associate, for no buried treasure will escape the keen eye of Hildibrand, agent of inquiry and inspector extraordinaire. Now, which way was the forest again? We're in the middle of the forest, you nincompoop. Zephyria, what news of the Primal and the Treaty Blade? Remarkable. I knew the Warrior of Light would emerge triumphant. Let's hope that Inspector Hildibrand enjoys similar success in finding the blade. Such design, such craftsmanship. At once bold and powerful, yet sensitive and refined. I believe I found the inspiration for my next masterpiece. Of course they're beautiful. They were the greatest treasures of Lost Sildee. To think that they were locked away in the vaults of those that destroyed our homeland and dragged our ancestors' names through the mud. And just how do you come to know of these lost-long relics? There was an ancient scroll passed down in our family, left to us by our dear grandmother. It spoke of the 4 warriors of light, their foul relics, and an incantation of untold power. If we could have wielded this magic of legend, Ellie and I might still have had the last laugh. Alas, speaking the words had no effect. Only a warrior of light can wield the power, or so the legend goes. Oh, what I wouldn't have given to see it, the ultimate achievement of the greatest mages this realm has ever known. And just what sort of incantation is this? The ring casts upon the doors of justice. The wise man whispers a verdict true. Azema's virtue shines down from the heavens. To complete the incantation, the warrior of light would then hold forth their treaty blade and speak, "Blade in hand, I swear unto you." The legends differ as to what happens next, but all speak of a great holy radiance shining down from the heavens. Over here, friends! Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, returns with tidings most triumphant. Yeah! Behold, safe in my hands, none other than the treaty blade, and the real one this time, I swear unto you.
Yes, yes, just like that, I swear unto you. Then...
My word, whatever is this odd tingling sensation?
Ridiculous! Hildibrand isn't a warrior of light. He's just some fool who thought he could stop the lesser moon with his own bare hands. It would seem the Treaty Blade is just as confused as the rest of us. No, the light! Someone stop it! I won't stand to see the legendary power of our forefathers wielded by this muscle-bound buffoon! Excuse me.
Frickin' phone. At all the times. Skyward ho! Incredible. Even Briarden's happy. Well, I dare say that proved to be a most useful incantation indeed.
And so the light of justice that shone from the Treaty Blade banished the shadow, returning peace to the land. So the legend ended. I must say I never expected it to be quite literally a beam of light. I suppose it wouldn't have been much use to us after all. Inspector! Oh, Inspector, wait for me! Thal's balls, Hildy! First you almost die at your poor mother's feet, now you fly off to God's nowhere without ever giving her a kiss goodbye?
Oh ho ho! It appears that a case of wanderlust has once again struck Hildibrand, as it has many a Manderville man before him. Godspeed, my boy. When the day comes that you tire of mystery solving, your dear old man will be here to pass on to you the family art.
So in the end, the Sildine incantation of legend was wielded not by a warrior of light, but a gentleman of light? Well, the Treaty Blade is some 6 centuries old, after all. Perhaps it's not quite as sharp as it used to be. The magic that brought peace and happiness to the people of Belladia, it was every bit as beautiful as I imagined. To think I would see it with my own eyes, it's nothing short of a dream come true. He bumbles and stumbles through yet another case, and still he manages to make a girl's dream comes true. A gentleman to the end, the bloody bastard. What's this? A glint in the corner of my eye. A curious scent wafting in on the winds from a far-flung land. Do I smell a case? Worry not for me, my friends, for wherever the Rond want for succor, I, Hildibrand, shall be there. Till we meet again. Godspeed, Inspector. Godspeed. Complete. Yeah. Hildibrand will return? I'm proud to say that yes, he will return.
That's all, folks. For now. Well, there you have it. So concludes, dear viewer, the first story arc of Hildibrand. 1 down, 5 to go. No, there are 5 total, aren't there? Yeah, 1 down, 4 to go. And that 4th one is just beginning, and I haven't actually seen it just yet, so when we get there, it'll be fresh, and I'll go in blind. That I look forward to, but yeah, it felt so worth it to go through all this again. Boy, the plotline really hit me a lot harder this time, now that I actually know what the deal is with Alamigo and Sildi. And of course, the sheer shenanigans with Gilgamesh and Julian and Godbert and Nashu and everyone, so good. And I loved how they brought back all the big players for this final case. Really wrapped up this plotline in a neat little bow. So yes, as Inspector Hildibrand said, a new case lies just on the horizon. What new travails await our inspector? I hope you'll join me then when we journey heavensward. I'm Zephyria Jeste. There's been more of the Hildibrand adventures. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you next time. So until then, please take care.